mother-daughter duo. Yes, we are actually mother and daughter. We're not sisters. Basically, we're starting off our own YouTube channel. Basically, we're just going to talk about love, life, and relationships. But it's going to be with a twist. Mom, she is going to give her perspective as a Generation X. And I'm going to give my perspective as a millennial. All right? So for tonight's topic, what are we going to talk about tonight, Mom?
We're going to talk about a date that you had. A date.
My love life, great.
Yes. A date that I thought that should have went different. Back in my day, Generation X, it would have went a whole lot different. Young man came by to pick Samantha up. He pulled up in the driveway, and Samantha runs out and get in the car. She didn't let the young man come to the door to get her. She runs out and she goes to the car. And I'm like, okay. So you're not going to let him come to the door, ring the doorbell. You're not going to let him come in so I can say hi. That's what I really wanted to happen. I wanted to say hi. But anyway, she goes out. The young man gets out of the car to let her in the car, and she jumps in the car. Now, back in my day, the young man would have walked up to the door, knocked on the door. My dad would have said, Suge, it's a boy here for you. And I would have came out of my room down the hall, and I would say, hi. And me and the young man would have walked out together, and he would have put me in the car. So things have definitely changed with the millennials. My generation, it wouldn't have never went down like that. So I just think that nothing is new up under the sun. What we did then, we should do now. And Samantha doesn't agree. She always tell me, Mom, it's not like that anymore.
Yes, the reason I say that is because I think the way young men were raised back in her generation is slightly different from how they're raised now. I don't think chivalry is dead, but I don't think it's taught as much as it was back in her generation. So, with the guy when he came to pick me up, I guess part of the reason I didn't think it was a big deal, reason number one, and reason number two, I didn't want her in my business, asking mom questions.
Yep, I'm that type of mom.
She's overbearing. Yep. So I was like, let me run to the car, let me hop in, let's bounce, I don't want her,
so that's what it really was.
Yeah, I didn't want you asking him 21 questions, child, I'm just getting to know him.
Well, I wanted to meet the young man. I didn't know him. I really didn't know anything about him.
Right, and that's what I had to explain to her, like, in our generation, you don't know how long it's gonna last with a person. You can meet them,
but
in August, and by the end of September, going into early October, you aren't even talking to them anymore. It's a lot more fickle, with our generation. So it's like, why would I want to introduce you to my parents, and I don't even know if you're gonna be around next month? I need to get to know you. I feel like that's a privilege, and I think that's serious when you meet somebody's parent and or parents, and I don't want to just bring anybody around my parents because you still filling them out.
What to do with the young man coming up to the door, ringing the doorbell, and coming to get you?
I just feel like I'm grown and it's not that.
But it's a matter
deep.
Samantha, but you're right. Some young men aren't taught that, but you have to teach a person the way to treat you.
That's very true. We definitely teach people how to treat us. We lay out the blueprint for what we will or won't tolerate. That's very true.
And so I just think if you would have let the young man know, okay, when you come to my house, you just don't pull up and expect for me to come running out. You come to my door, you ring my doorbell, and come get me, and walk me to the car and put me in the car. I mean, he may not have been taught that, but you can teach him that.
Right. That's true.
So that's my thing. Generation X perspective. That's the way I feel about it.
And me as a millennial, I feel like, once again, why introduce someone to your parent if you don't even know how serious it is? You're still in the beginning stage of dating, so why would I introduce you to my parents? And I just
But it's okay though if you introduce and it doesn't work.
It's just me. I feel like it's a waste of time.
Feel.
Yeah, I feel like it's a waste of time.
You don't want to put that much effort in it if you feel like it's not gonna work.
Right, because I need to know.
And I respect that. That's the way you feel.
Stick around, you know.
So is
bringing anybody to mom and dad,
or is it that you feel like you really wasn't interested in him?
Okay, all right. So now you're trying to get the tea. So no, I wasn't.
Spill the tea.
I will spill it. I'm gonna pour it up and pour it in the cup. All right. Okay. No, I was not physically attracted to him. I thought he was a nice guy. You know how you meet a man, you're like, oh, he's a nice guy, but it's just something missing. And you know how other people go, well, women always say they want a good guy, and then a good guy come along. But it's like, you can't negate the fact that just because somebody is nice doesn't mean they're nice for you. You know what I mean? And just because someone is a nice guy, that doesn't mean that physical attraction isn't important. Like, that's still a big component, especially when you initially meet someone. You're looking at their physicalities. So it matters if you're attracted to them or not. And I know people can say, oh, they can grow on you or da-da-da-da-da. But in my mind, I feel like that's kind of settling. Like, I believe that I can find someone who's attractive, who I find attractive, as long as he looks good to me, and who is also a nice guy as well. I don't think I have to have either or. And so that was kind of on my bad because I was entertaining somebody I knew I wasn't really interested in. But that was a great learning experience for me because it made me realize, like,
what you want,
yeah. And if you're not attracted to someone, it's okay, you know. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. You just want to date somebody you're attracted to. Attraction is important, you know. And just because somebody is a nice guy doesn't mean you're obligated to be with them, especially if you're not attracted to them, you know. Most men aren't finna, you know, get serious with a woman they're not attracted to. They're not going to settle. So, you know, why should we as women?
And I think it's very important that you know what you like and what you don't like, because so many women have a tendency of just going along with someone that they're not attractive to just to say, I have a man.
Right.
And then you start.
And I don't want to do that.
And you never want to. Right. And I don't want you to do that.
I like to look at you. You know what I mean?
And there has to be some type of physical attraction.
Yeah, I mean, men are physical, you know. So, I mean,
I think that,
I would like somebody that looks nice, not shallow. I still want them to treat me right. I still want there to be chemistry and for them to respect me and honor me. But I would like someone who I find attractive. You know, it doesn't matter if my girlfriends find him attractive or not. It's just, all that matters is that I find him attractive.
So do you think that's superficial or?
No, I don't think it's superficial. No.
So okay, so
as long as I find him attractive, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm the one that has to date him. So as long as, you know, I don't mind looking at him, you know. That's all that matters.
So you just, it wasn't anything that the young man did or said.
It was just no chemistry.
No chemistry.
No chemistry and no physical attraction.
So you didn't want to waste his time.
Yeah.
Getting comfortable, you know,
coming
to the door and meeting your mom and dad.
Because I wouldn't want anyone to waste my time. And like I said, that's where I messed up at. I shouldn't have gone on the date in the first place. But I was like going against my gut feeling. Like I knew kind of initially that, nah, this isn't it. You know what I mean? This isn't it for me. You know, I just knew that in my gut, but I still went with it anyway. Like, back to what I was saying, the whole, oh, but he's a nice guy, though. You know how...
And he treated you nice.
Yeah, he treated me really nice. He treated me amazing. But, you know, the society we live in, you know, people really shun women for turning down nice guys, as if women just have to be grateful that a man is being nice to them instead of that being the norm. That should be the basic standards. You should respect women. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be being a nice guy just so you can get something from a woman. You know what I mean? You should just treat them with respect off rip. You know what I mean? And so I guess I fell under that pressure that society puts on women. Like, oh, he's a nice guy, so you need to give him a chance. You know, you're always crying about you don't have anyone. Then a nice guy come along and you diss him. It's like, okay, yeah, that's true. But I also want to date a nice guy that I'm attracted to. I also want to date a nice guy that I have chemistry with as well. Like, that matters too.
You're passionate about this, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, right, and I think you should date. And I think that doesn't happen a lot with your generation. In Generation X, we dated. We went out on dates. Now your
A
generation,
little bit more Netflix and
you
chill.
all right. You all
Yeah.
meet each other at the club one night, and,
or on Tinder or Soul
yeah, all
Swipe
these
or,
social dating websites,
or whatever.
and then it's on.
Or
You know,
Instagram,
you never
Twitter.
right. You never date, and I think that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about when I met your stepdad is that we actually dated. He actually dated me and wooed me, and I believe that your generation don't indulge in that. You don't indulge.
Not as much. I think we do, just not as much. Maybe we do, and I'm sure it was people in your generation that weren't all chivalrous.
Yeah. That's true. But I can remember. In my generation.
It's 40, 50-year-old women that's been dogged out.
That's true. Now, don't get me wrong. That's true. Like I said, nothing is new up under the sun.
Yeah.
Everything is on repeat. But I just remember in my generation, I remember going to dances and the young man coming up to me and say, "Hey, you want to dance?" But I'm sure that doesn't happen with your generation. When you go out, do the young man come up to you and say, "You want to dance?"
Yeah, some do.
Or they just start.
It's both.
And that means let's dance.
I mean, some will, come up behind you like, what's up, gonna twerk, and then
See,
some
twerking.
will ask, it's just different. Like, men don't dance. It's like more so the woman dancing on the man. The guy just kind of stands there, and the woman is like gyrating up and down. And
well, I'm glad you're dating. That's very important to date. But I don't want you to dishonor yourself.
Yes, that's very true.
So do you feel like you dishonored yourself by dating someone you wasn't interested in?
In a way, yeah, because I was ignoring that woman's intuition, if you want to say, or that gut feeling, and I feel like as you learn yourself and you discover who you are and you know exactly what you want, you're very clear about it. You can sense when someone is not vibrating at the same level you are.
Right.
So,
well, I've dishonored myself a lot of times too in previous relationships.
I think we all
do. I'm guilty of that as well.
Yeah, we all do. But I'm glad I'm learning it at 25.
Right.
Versus
because I learned
35,
it
45,
at
55, 65.
25, 40, 45. I'm glad you've learned that. You learn what you know what you want, and you're not gonna settle no matter what, even if it means that you don't have a man. You know what you want, and you're not settling.
Right.
And you know that you're not gonna dishonor yourself. I think it's worse.
Not no more. Not anymore.
Not anymore. I think it's worse to dishonor yourself than not to have someone in your life, a significant other in your life. I think self-love is more important than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And when you dishonor yourself, that says that I don't trust myself.
That's true.
I'm not honoring what I want.
You don't trust the decisions you make.
Right. Or honoring that, to know that I deserve better.
Yeah, I don't trust my intuition, so I'm going against it. I'm making like a conscious decision to go against what I know.
And so many of us are guilty, including myself. I've been guilty of that. I can't tell you the relationships I had where I look back now in my life and I was and where I am today, and I say, wow, did I do that? And even learning from you how you honor yourself, I start to reminisce on the relationships, or think about the relationships, not reminisce, but think about the relationships that I had and say, wow, I wish I would have had that mindset that you have now. So I commend you, and Mommy's proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
So we just wanted to come and talk to you guys about relationships and love and all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sammy Nicole.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. And we appreciate you watching.
And let us know what you think about our video in the comment section, okay? All right. Bye. Bye.